By some estimates, there's 3 million Americans who call themselves preppers. And Joel Skousen estimates that for every one of them, there's 10 more who are thinking about it, thinking that maybe they need to be preppers. If you're one of those, you need to know the top 7 worst rookie prepper mistakes. Number 1 issue is obsessing about doomsday. If a nuclear strike is what you're most concerned about, you don't need to be thinking about moving into a bunker. You need to move away from there. You need to prepare for likely events. So if you're in Texas, you need to worry about tornadoes. If you're on the Gulf, you need to worry about hurricanes. If you're in Southern California, think about earthquakes. And wherever you live, you need to think about ice storms, power outages, cuts in the water supply. That kind of thing happens all the time, every year, to thousands, tens of thousands of people. That's the kind of thing you need to prepare for, not doomsday. In a sense, you're just preparing for life. Take a realistic assessment of the risks where you live and get ready for that. Mistake number 2, relying on gadgets instead of skills. I love gadgets. I love, things that, does a new tool that does something cool, a new way to start a fire, a new way to cook over a fire, a new camp stove, whatever. There's all kinds of new gadgets out there. But what people really need to do is gain knowledge and develop skills. I'll do all the product reviews and you don't have to, okay? I buy that stuff, I do the reviews, and then you don't have to. You can just watch my reviews and decide which of these gadgets you want to get. But don't spend a lot of money on gadgets. Spend money on a few things that are really going to be useful to you. But the main thing you want to do is focus on knowledge and skills. Mistake number 3, obsessing about bugging out. I get it. There is something very much alluring about the idea of getting a backpack and a knife and hitting the road and conquering nature and getting to your bug out location unscathed. That is cool. Okay? But realistically, you can't walk across the state. You're not in shape to do it. Or you might be, but somebody in your family, someone you're responsible for, is not going to be able to do that. What you really need to do is prepare to hunker down. You need to have a bug-in plan. If there were some major catastrophe in the city that you live in, or in the suburbs around where you live, you're not going to be able to leave anyway. You'd have to leave on foot, and you can't practically do that. It's more dangerous to hit the road in a situation like that than it is just to hunker down and stay where you are, at least for a couple of weeks, until some of the traffic clears and the panic has gone, or at least subdued a little bit. So you really need a plan that has you hunkering down where you are and not obsess about bugging out. Mistake number 4, not having an evacuation plan. Okay, you need both. You need to be prepared to hunker down, no question about it. But you might have to leave. And you don't want to be making plans to leave the day you have to leave. You can't be thinking about that under stress. Figuring out where you're going to go and how to get there cannot be taken lightly and should not be planned on the day you have to do it. You need to plan that ahead of time. Rookie prepper mistake number 5, putting all your eggs in one basket. We just illustrated that in the idea of, you want to be prepared to bug out, but you want to be prepared to stay home too. You want to be prepared to stay home, but you need an evacuation plan too. Okay? Well, apply that to everything. Don't hide all of your food stock in one place. Don't put all of your bullets in one place. Don't have just one route to your safe retreat or bug out location. You need alternate routes. You need to learn contingency planning. Mistake number 6, not having a support and communications network. That usually stems from an obsession with OPSEC. OPSEC is operational security. Now, don't get me wrong. Operational security is important. It's a necessary part of your plan. You need to be wise about who you share information with. Who knows, where your stuff is. But don't get obsessed about it, because you have to have support. Our grandparents had a support and communications network. And they called it neighbors. Nobody knows their neighbors anymore because we're too busy watching TV, staying in the air conditioning, and playing the PlayStation. Okay? You need to turn those things off and go outside and meet those people that live across the street from you, because they are potentially your most valuable resource in the event of an emergency, some sort of catastrophe. Okay? No man is an island. I can't do this on my own, and I wouldn't want to. There is so much to be gained from developing tight relationships with friends, family, neighbors. You need to get out there and do that. Build that communications and support network. It's going to be an essential part of rebuilding community after a disaster. Rookie mistake number 7, failure to practice. Would you build a car and sell it without test driving it? No, you would not. Would you make a soup and serve it to your guests without tasting it? No. What is a fire drill for? The purpose of a fire drill is to make sure that when there's a fire, you know how to get out, because you've practiced. You need to actually practice your evacuation plan. You need to get your backpack on, put on your boots, and walk to your Bugout location. I've got several more bonus mistakes at the blog, survivalnewsonline.com. Go check them out. If you know of any others, put them in the comments. I'll see you at the blog.